Hey Tony, it's actually Thursday. My videos are generally Thursday, but it could be a Friday some weeks. Last week was kind of a special case. So first off, to answer your question of the week, are you specifying how many times have I personally watched it, or how many times that it has been on while I've been in the apartment? Because that's two separate answers. If it's how many times I've personally watched it, once. Because I was actually I watched it this past weekend. I watched it on Sundays. I was before football started, as I was working on. I had to do a lot of work from home this week because I took Thursday off last week, so I just did a lot of work from home this past weekend, and I had it up on my one screen as I was just reading through a transcript on this one. So you can say hi to Taylor in the background.
Hi.
And Jay.
Who's this?
I'm recording my video. Yeah, that just happened. But yeah, so I ended up I do some work from home on Sunday, which you saw Taylor walking weirdly in the background. But that was fine. Otherwise, like, that was all good. This week has been interesting so far. I was in court yesterday for a big case. I'm actually taking to a jury trial, which I'm a little bit nervous about because this is gonna be my first ever jury trial, and it's with a client who's a little bit difficult, so it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it in a weird way of like it's gonna be a lot, but I think it's gonna be fun regardless. I guess fun is not the right term. I think it's gonna be a good learning experience regardless. And tomorrow I actually have my first child protection hearing, which that one is actually I'm kind of excited and nervous about that because luckily I'm representing a mom in this matter who DCF is saying you should have the kids, so that makes it a lot easier on me. When I have a Department of Children and Families basically saying, yep, your client's the one we want to have the kid. But it's going to be really interesting. I've been working with one of the attorney generals of the state of Connecticut who's been really helping me out a lot with it because this is going to be my first ever child protection case. And that'll be interesting and, like I said, a great learning experience. I also have a big meeting tomorrow with my supervisors. So what my firm does is every 2 months-ish or so, you have what's called a supervisor meeting. And that is basically like you meet up with your supervisors, you talk about your habeas cases of like, all right, here's the case, here are the facts, here's where we're at as far as the timeline goes, here's the next steps we need to take. I'm kind of excited about that because I think it's going to be interesting. But I'm also a little bit nervous because my friend and coworker Julie had her meeting yesterday, and she said it wasn't bad, but it was like somewhat anxiety-inducing, just because like you want to make sure you're doing a good job, not because like my supervisors are going to be mean about it, just because like they're such nice people that you really want to do a good job for them. So that's gonna be my meeting tomorrow. I think it'll be from like 2 to 3:30. I think is what my time slot is. That'll be kind of interesting. I spent all day today just compiling everything about my cases. I have 11 habeas cases, about 5 or 6 juvenile delinquent cases, and an assortment of other criminal stuff. But that'll be interesting. Yesterday I actually spent all yesterday morning in court, and I spent much of the afternoon on a jail visit with one of my clients. Really nice guy. Like I think he's one of my favorite clients because he was just really a pleasure to talk to. And it's kind of cool. Like one thing I really like about my job is the fact that I am working with people, and I'm not working with faceless corporations. So when I was at Rubin and Rothman and I was doing all the creditors' rights stuff, my clients were faceless corporations. Like I certainly would interact with some people who worked with them, but as far as me to the client, I never had direct interaction with them. Well, now that I'm doing criminal defense, habeas stuff, and in that assortment, it brings me back to how it was when I was at Legal Aid, when I was doing the tenant advocacy and working directly with my clients with faces. And it's a nice change. But also it comes with its own set of challenges because you kind of understand that these are real people that you're working with who, might have made terrible mistakes in the past or might not have. Because there's certainly some people who are completely innocent of the crimes they're charged with. And it kind of turns into an interesting back and forth. So the way I describe it is I'm more stressed where I work now, but I'm also happier. Because like the stress I had when I was working creditors' rights was just like, okay, I gotta work, I gotta do a good job, I gotta push as much paper as possible. Whereas now it's something completely different. It takes a lot more of a personal touch because now I'm working with real people who are facing real crises, and it's up to me to do the best I can to try and help them. And it's refreshing in a lot of ways. And this week kind of showed it. So Tuesday I ended up having a hearing that I wasn't entirely expecting to have to go to, but I still went to it, and it turned out all right. And then just throughout the week, talk to my clients and just interact with them the best I can. And tomorrow, when I have my CP case, I think that's going to be a great learning experience. And it's something I'm glad I made the shift to where I'm at now. I'm definitely a lot happier, even if I am more stressed, as I said before. But it feels like I'm doing good work instead of work just to get paid, which is it's a really nice change. And I've been at that firm now for a little over 2 months, so like I feel like I at least know a little bit of what I'm doing, even if I really don't. But even still, like it's been a good experience, and I'm looking forward to continuing my career there. So Tony, my question for you is, how did you enjoy tonight's Witcher session? Because I'm going to see you in like 5 minutes. As soon as I finish this video and start uploading it, I'll be jumping into Discord. So that'll be my question for you, Tony. Is what did you think of this past session? Because I think it's going to be fun. Be a little bit different since we don't have the Witcher there, but I think it'll be fun regardless. But other than that, Tony, I will talk to you in about 5 minutes. But I'll see you on Monday. Later, bro.